Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you for stopping by. It's a ideal flying day today, hardly any wind. It's probably about 5 miles an hour gusts, if that. It's a little bit on the chilly side if you like that sort of thing, about 9-10 degrees, but otherwise perfect for flying. I'm going to do a review of 3 different aircraft and I'm going to put them all on the same video because I think they all fly exactly the same. We've got some different models here. This one is depicted as a Spitfire Mark 1 or Mark 2. It's got letters, squadron code KLB, which is flown by Alan Deere. 54 squadron, I think, and they flew out of Croydon or Biggin Hill, possibly using Hawkins as a forward air base. The next one we got here is the P40. This is depicted as the Flying Tigers. Commanding officer was Claire Chenault, I think, on that one. And this is a P51D Mustang, nicknamed Bunny, and that was flown in Italy, 1945. So they are sort of like accurate renditions, if you like. I'm not going to go too much into detail about what you get in the box and all the rest of it. They're pretty standard. The basic version, you'll get the transmitter, which has 4 AA batteries to power it. You need to buy those separately, and the options are you can either buy any one of them with either 1, 2 or 3 batteries. Apart from that, I think the software, the hardware is pretty much the same for all of them, so in theory they should all fly the same. Apologies if I haven't got my camera adjusted properly. Let's hope it will be adjusted properly for you to see some flight footage. I think we start off with the Mustang. I have to confess, I think this is probably my favourite flying. It does seem to fly ever so well. I've previously given this just a little test flight. It does fly ever so well. So with these brush motors, I normally put the connect up the battery first, then switch on transmitter, up and down to bind, and in theory you should be ready to go. So there we go, you can see the gyros there, it's already working. So it's not going to take much to get these things flying. I'll give it a 3/4 throttle. That's in beginner rate. Actually, what I'll do, I'll try, if I can, and bring it in closer. Maybe not that close. Into middle rates, and you can see there we've got a bit more banking, and I'm pretty sure if I give it full throttle I should be able to do a roll. That's upward height. Oh, there we go. A loop, I should say, not roll. So yeah, these are all very much the same. I suspect, I've not flown Spitfire yet, that will be its first flight. But this one I have flown before. In actual fact, I'm pretty sure I have done a review which I've uploaded. Out in the field, the wind does seem to be gusting up now to, I don't know, maybe about 8 or 9 miles an hour. Now, I've seen videos of these things when, I think it's the RC Sailors. They've done a few nice videos on these things, including the Messerschmitt. and when they put them into full expert mode, I think it's called, which is the third switch on the transmitter here, it tends to go a little bit haywire, because I think the central gravity is set at a rearwards. It's set rearwards, so I don't think you're going to have too much control over it. Having said that, I'll give you a demonstration. Yeah, it's something I'm going to have to get used to. Even if you do crash it, because of the weight of all these, and I think they come in round about 60 grams. You're not going to be causing too much damage. If the prop comes off, this is a very good idea on these. You've got these prop saver devices, and I've not known any break a propeller as yet. Does fly very well, doesn't it? Let's do some right-handed circuits. Don't want to get too dizzy flying left-hand circuits. Okay, that'll do for that one. We'll bring her in for a little landing, and we'll go and get, I think we'll go and get the P40 next. There you go. So, if anyone gets stuck for something really quick and easy to fly, you could take this down the park and you're not going to do any harm with this, with any in the range for that matter. These are a really good choice. Well worth the money, I think. Okay, right. We start off with the P40 next. Pretty much the same setup with the P40. You have a little 500 milliamp battery, although it is possible to squeeze in something slightly bigger. Let's see if we can get that in. There we go. Getting the battery and the lead is a little bit of a tight squeeze, but it will go. There we go. Okay, so that looks as though that's okay. Got that in low rates, mid rates, expert, and we have an aerobatic function there as well. And I think, was this button a return to home function on all of them, and that is if you take off and it flies straight, it will come back the way it went. If I've got that right, it's not going to stop, it will just come back. So if you've got a brick wall behind you, that's not very good. Okay, here we go. Being challenged by the wind up there, and we're on just about half throttle. Into mid rates we go. Let's see if we can do a loop with this one. Put it in full throttle. Oh yes, a bit twisty. The wind is strengthening now from my right hand side. Probably hear it in the microphone. About 10 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, something like that. And for their weight, I think these are doing awfully well. I'm sure the Mustang was about 60 grams, a little bit more with the battery, I think. So this around about the same sort of weight, I would suspect. Let's try and keep it in near, shall we? Back into beginner mode. See the gusts really affecting the model there. Nearly went into the hedge. But even if I did, I don't suspect there's going to be that much damage to it. It's so light. Does look the part actually. Ooh, the wind got it there. And it's on half throttle again. You can see the wind bashing it about quite a bit. Let's put it to mid rates again. Don't be afraid to use a little bit of rudder if you want to turn. If you're worried about making a turn on something this small look scale. It turns, if you just want to bank and yank it, then this is just what an aileron turn does. Just feeding a little bit of elevator there just to keep the height, but not too much elevator as you'll be making a tighter turn. Okay, I think that's enough for that one. We bring this in for landing and we do the final one that I've got, but not the final one in the series. There, look at that. Almost didn't want to come down there for a minute. Okay, so that's the little flight of the P40 Warhawk. Quite a nicely made little plane with some good, relatively authentic decals on it. Okay, last one that I've got is the Spitfire. So see you shortly. Right, here we go with the Volantex Spitfire. It's modelled or portrayed as a Spitfire Mark 1A or Mark 2, piloted by Alan Deere, a New Zealander, hence the Kiwi symbol on there. Now I do believe there was a Kiwi 1, 2 and 3, and I think that was because other pilots flew his plane and wrecked it. So hence there was a Kiwi 1, 2 and 3. As I understand it, I may very well be wrong. And as I said before, I think it's 54 Squadron he flew for. Based Croydon, is it? May have been Croydon. Maybe somewhere else. But the setup procedure for this aircraft is exactly the same as the rest of them. And you do get a choice with this model, in that you have the 2-bladed propeller and a 3-bladed propeller. I've chosen to use the 3-bladed propeller just because it looks a little bit more accurate in scale. And so again, I'll put that on the so box. We have beginner, mid and expert. As all the others, there should be no difference. This is the first flight of this little thing, so let's get on with it, shall we? Here we go. It's in beginner rate. Nice to see a Spitfire flying over the Kent countryside once more. Okay, we're on to, just down to half throttle. I don't know what the radio control distance is of these. I can't imagine it's going to be too far. I don't know, 150 metres maximum, I would have thought. I'm sure they're marketed around about 80, 100. But you really wouldn't want to go too far with a 400mm wingspan. It's going to be a dot in the sky before you know it. And for their size, they are quite fast. I'm sure they're not flying at scale speed. I would have thought there's going to be better performance with the 2-bladed propeller. And of course the early mark, the Spitfires did have 2-bladed propellers. I think they were wooden propellers as well. Not entirely sure on that. Now, I'm quite lucky. Where I live, we have a Spitfire fly over our garden virtually every weekend. Not entirely sure where his base is, but I understand he flies out of Headcorn Aerodrome now and again. He seems to fly a fairly set pattern, or circuit I should say, but it's, and I think it's a Spitfire Mark 9. Sometimes there's two of them that come round, and on the odd occasion we have two Spitfires and a Hurricane, but that is very, very rare. But my wife, she's always waving to the Spitfires, and sometimes they waggle their wing just to say, yeah, we've seen you, you can stop it now. Good flyer, not a bad flyer at all. Let's mid-rate, let's put it into mid-rates. See if we can do another loop. Oh yeah, very twisty again. I suspect all the same software inside. Let's lose a bit of height. That's better. Okay. I was very fortunate. I grew up around here as a lad, and I was given freedom to roam around Hawkins Airfield, which had been closed the year I was born. And I remember going into the local primary school with different kinds of objects that interest me. But the teachers didn't see it that way. Indeed, the police were called on a couple of occasions, along with EOD, and took those items away. But it was a fascinating time, being able to roam freely on the airfield and discover new things. All we need Eachine or Volantex to do now is release a Hurricane. That would complete the setup, wouldn't it? Might even be working on it as we speak, you never know. Right, full throttle there. Back down to beginner mode. You can really see it'd be so easy to lose sight of these, wouldn't it? See, going out of range there, it's giving us a little warning. There we go, bring that in. Half throttle. Ooh, dear God. Wind nearly caught me there. There we go. Not quite good as landing as the Mustang and the P40, but there we have it. The little 400mm Spitfire. Oh, well, that would be fixable. Actually, I suspect that might fly better without the with the wheel, but that's a simple fix. Right, okay. Thanks for watching this little review. I'm pretty sure I had done the 400mm Mustang a while ago. I'm not going to FPV any of these. I don't really want to spoil the model itself, even though I've done it on the what was it? I think it was the Eachine. They released a 500mm Mustang, which I think I've uploaded. I'm pretty sure I've already uploaded that and given you some footage on that, and I'm pretty sure if I chose to, the little Eachine camera that I use would easily fit into the cockpits of any one of these planes as well. But at the moment I don't really want to, as I say, spoil the looks of the actual model itself. Okay, it's just a little flight review of all those three models. I could have done individual reviews for them all, but as you know, all the software and the hardware is all the same, so you can be virtually guaranteed they're all going to give you perfectly good flight times and lots of fun as well. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you on the next video. I don't know what that video is going to be. I don't know what's coming around the corner yet, but until then, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.